Imagine a time when movies were just starting to make history. And there was one actress who changed everything. Ursula Andress. Yes, the name may sound familiar, especially if you know classic films. But there is a side of her life that most people rarely talk about, a side that is shocking even to adults today. Her young bikini photos have surfaced, and some people are saying they are inappropriate. But why? And what makes these images so controversial even after decades? Let us find out. Ursula Andress was born in Switzerland in 1936. She started acting in small roles in the late 1950s, but the world really noticed her when she starred in the very first James Bond movie, Dr. No, in 1962. That iconic scene, you know the one, became legendary and is still talked about today. But before she became a global star, she was just a young woman with dreams of acting, modeling, and seeing the world. Some of these photos show Ursula in bikinis at a very young age. And here is where it gets tricky. Back then, standards for photography and celebrity images were different. Still, seeing a young person in such revealing photos makes a lot of people uncomfortable now, and understandably so. It is important to remember context. In the 1950s and 1960s, magazines and advertisements were pushing the idea of glamorous lifestyles, beauty, and the perfect body. Young models were often encouraged to pose in ways that seem wrong today. Ursula, like many others, was part of this trend. But that does not mean these photos are harmless. Even if she was photographed professionally, the fact that she was very young makes the images inappropriate for general viewing. Adults might look at them and feel surprised or even uneasy. And children or teenagers seeing them could be exposed to ideas about bodies and beauty that are not healthy. Why do these photos resurface now? Well, classic movie stars often have fans who are curious about their entire lives. Social media and the internet make it easy to share everything, sometimes without thinking about the consequences. These photos get clicked on, shared, and discussed widely. But not everyone realizes that they involve a young Ursula, and that raises ethical questions. Experts often warn that sharing or promoting such photos can be harmful. It is not just about curiosity, it is about responsibility. Even though Ursula became famous as an adult, these early images involve her before she could truly understand what it meant to be photographed in such a way. Now, you might be wondering, what lessons can we take from this today? First, it reminds us that celebrities were once ordinary people, often very young, facing pressure from the industry. Second, it is a warning about online content. Not everything that is popular or old is appropriate to view or share, especially when it involves young people. Today, there are strict rules to protect minors in the entertainment industry. Child actors and models have legal protections. But decades ago, these rules were not as strong. Many young stars from the past were exposed to situations that seem completely unacceptable now. So, what happened to Ursula after those controversial early photos? She continued acting, and eventually became one of the most famous actresses in the world. She appeared in many films, worked with famous directors, and became a symbol of cinematic history. And yet, those early images remain part of her story, a story that teaches us about history, society, and the importance of respecting boundaries. It is a reminder that people change, society changes, and what was once acceptable may now be shocking or even wrong. Respecting the privacy and dignity of young people, then and now, is essential. So, while the young bikini photos of Ursula Andress might grab attention, it is important to look deeper. It is not just about curiosity or nostalgia. It is about understanding context, history, and ethics. And it is a lesson for anyone who shares or views images online. Every photo has a story, and some stories remind us of things we must never ignore. In the end, Ursula Andress became more than just a photo or a scene. She became a symbol of a generation of actors, a witness to changing times, and a reminder that even legends have complicated histories. So next time you see an old photo, remember to ask, what is the story behind it? And is it really something we should be sharing? Ursula's story is a perfect example. It is fascinating, it is surprising, and it is a little uncomfortable, but it teaches us something important about respect, privacy, and history. Thanks for watching, and remember, some images tell more than just a story, they tell us how far we have come, and how careful we need to be with the past.